Kia ora tātou, welcome back to the Wargaming Den. Game 3 of No Surrender. This game sees my Abyssal Dwarfs facing Mark's undead. The mission we're playing this time is loot. So here's the Abyssal Dwarfs, same list as in the last couple of games, so nothing changed there. Still 13 units, 21 unit strength. I think I hit the lowest unit count and the lowest unit strength, or one of the lowest unit strengths of the weekend, which means I was usually out deployed. Say hello to the Abyssal Dwarfs and friends, and let's have a look at Mark's army. So Mark was the TO, and so he's running a undead list on day one. One of the other guys could only play on Sunday, so Mark's playing and organising. And so he's come up with an interesting undead list. He's got 4 regiments of zombies, 4 troops of wraiths. So they've got defense 6 and they fly. So got to watch out for those. And of course, they shamble. 2 units of wights were his hard hitting hordes there. Dangerous. And do they fly? Yes. They've got crushing strength 2, high defense. 2 little death packs which Mark had made himself. They look very cool. There'll be a photo of those coming up soon. He's got a Goreblight, which is a character with the Cloak of Death and Life Leech. 2 Lich Kings who provide the surge, etc. for his army. And he's got Morgoth the Faceless, who's got lots of spells and even more surging. So interesting list. 16 units. His unit strength is 21 as well. So he's got more units, but not a great deal of unit strength because those spellcasters aren't cheap. And here we have his army. And these death claws, whatever they are, he's just made out of various undead type heads, which is very cool. There we have his zombies. He's got the 4 units of wights, and then he's got the wraiths and the Goreblight at the back. There's his characters at the front as well. I think that's Morgoth. Really nice color scheme. Mark always does a fantastic job on his armies, and he always ties them together with a really nice bold color scheme as well. So let's get on with the game. Right, and here's a close-up of those death claws again with his wraiths in behind. Fantastic. Love the shading on the models on the back there, and those little homemade death claw things are very, very cute. I'm not sure cute's the right word, but let's move on to deployment. And here we have my opponent grinning because he's usually up to some kind of cunning plan. Now Mark's organised all the events. I first met Mark about 4 years ago when we were getting into Kings of War, and Gordon was keen to get a little competition going. So I reached out to Mark. He came down to Oamaru and he's been running the events in Christchurch ever since. So he hasn't actually played a Christchurch event in full because he's the main organizer, but we all really appreciate all the work that he does behind the scenes. Runs a fantastic weekend. It's a lot of fun to play against and to hang out with. So yeah, if you're ever in Christchurch, look him up, ask for a game. Always happy to oblige. Here we go in deployment. It's loot. There are 3 counters across the center of the table. 1, 2, 3. I've deployed down in this section because I only want to take these 2. He's welcome to that one. I've put my cavalry out there just because, and the rest is lined up here. Now, you can't really see them, but my decimators are here behind, learning from last game, behind the Hellfane, and behind one of the Immortal Guard. That's the other Immortal Guard, and some half-breeds there covering that center area. my thoughts are, if I can get onto this hill with my Hellfane and my Immortal Guard, or even get over it, that's finally going to give my Decimators some high ground to dominate this area and blast anything they can. Mark has got 2 units of zombies and some wights behind them over here. The bulk of his forces the other side of the building, so more zombies. Deathclaw. Those Deathclaw over there actually have the diadem of Dragonkind, so they explode in combat, so got to watch out for those. He's got his 2 raids tucked in the back, and he's got wights there, more wights there, and we must be underway because there's some wights moving there and a couple of his spellcasters. That's my grotesque near the bag going as well, so he can go either direction. Now here's Gordon's clock that he loaned me. Funny story, I think one of the games timed out in game 2, and I was watching, and one guy had run out of time and the other guy had 9 minutes left on the clock. However, turns out that the clocks Mark got a proper chess clock, so as soon as the time runs out for one player, it's game over, because apparently that's the way it works in speed chess or timed chess. So I said, Mark, where'd you get these? Temu? He said, of course. So yes, I guess you get what you pay for. And I think he was trying to give them away at the end of the tournament actually as well. But they were better than no chess clocks. Many of the other guys hadn't actually used a clock prior to this. Gordon and I use them and enjoy using them. Most of the players seem to enjoy them. They do keep the game ticking along. You can't get bogged down with one player really over-analysing their moves, and that's why I like playing on a chess clock, but they do take a bit of getting used to. One of the new guys, Taylor, this is first proper 2,300 point competition with his, I think they were Northern Alliance force. The first couple of games he had 30 minutes left or more on his clock, so he had to learn to slow down a wee bit, but yeah, they do definitely add to the game. So yes, so this is the start of the turn. Let's see how things progress. So what am I doing? So I've got my Mastiffs behind my half-breeds. I've got the half-breeds there. There's a champion. That's my Overcaster. Looks like another half-breed champion there. Got into the bag going with the Immortal Guard. Grotesque is facing the zombies, and I've got these guys. They hardly move. That's my other half-breed champion. I think I've got the half-breed troop back there as well, and the regiment. So I did push forward. It's just out of sight over here onto the hill with the other Immortal Guard and the Hellfane. And that shows that my Overmaster has been wavered. So it must have got hit by some spells, because Mark has quite a few powerful spellcasters lurking around. There's one back there. I think that's Morgoth over there. And I think there might be another lich somewhere around here, or might be tucked in. No, there it goes, tucked in the back behind those guys, making sure that I'm not able to leap over and chap them up. Okay, turn 2. Here we go. I have taken a couple of wounds on the Grotesque. I think that was the Deathclaws trying to chap them up. Taken 4 wounds here on my Mortal Guard as a unit of wights have charged in. Those are the decimator detonating Deathclaw, so want to avoid those. But what I've got here, even though it's over rough going, I can actually pivot, hit there, move across and hit them there next turn with my cavalry. Over this way, the half-breed champ is just wandering about. Fireball, I think, has gone into the zombies. Yellow markers show they haven't thrown their dogs yet. That's a decimated. So I've got onto the hill and I've been attacked by 2 units of zombies, which I'm not worried about because I will chop through them. It might take me a turn or two, but the main thing I want is to protect the decimators, get them onto the hill, and then there's still those whites lurking in the background there. And so far I haven't been really caught out by surges, but Mark has the potential to surge his forces quite a long way. And yep, there you can see in the next turn I have charged in against those whites with those 2 units and also the half-breed champion. So 16, 24, those are all hindered attacks because I had to go over that hedge, and the 6 attacks from the champion with Crush 2. So they've lost their Thunderous 1. They're still Crush 1. I'm hoping I've got enough dice to deal with those whites, and then I can turn to face the Wraiths, I think it is, by the looks of it there. So a bit of a wider view. So yes, big combat on that hill. The decimators are in the back, but they've now got line of sight, and I think I may have just doubled one of these zombies, and Mark is going yikes because I did 20 wounds with the decimators. I think the mastiffs threw their dogs as well. That 3 belongs to these guys who've taken some wounds from the zombies, but I also charged in the half-breeds and the overmaster into the whites there, and that's the first time I realised they're actually defense 6. I was humming and hurrying just sending a unit in unsupported by additional support, but actually once I realised they're defense 6, I sent more stuff in, and here you can see these guys are just grinding away against the whites. I'm not doing a great deal, but I'm hoping to get someone in to support them soon. There's the Gore Blight. This I was very happy with, actually, because I wavered the Death Claw, which meant the Wraiths were able to charge in and get the Grotesque. His spellcasters are up to shenanigans. I've sent one of the half-breed champions charging through that gap to try and put pressure on Mark's spellcasters. Right, things are hotting up in turn 4. The Grotesque champion is charged with the Wraiths, put 10 wounds on them. The Immortal Guard are now being attacked by the Goreblight and the Whites. That's the Deathclaw with the Crystal of Retribution. I've lost the regiment, but I've still got the troop fighting those Wraiths, and I'm quite happy with this because that means these Wraiths are well away from over here where the important last objective is. So the longer they're over here, the happier I am. The dogs, Fireball Dude on the hill, I've cleared out the zombies, and the decimators now have lots of good lines of sight. The spellcasters, looks like they have taken care of the half-breed champion though, or someone else has, but he's definitely no more. Okay, and here we go, turn 5. So it's well and truly cleared out in the middle here, not much left. I've lost the Immortal Guard. The Goreblight's turned. I've got the Mastiffs trying to slow them down. Still got his whites there. The Deathclaw with the Retribution. The zombies have got the objective. They're going to keep going this way, well away from my guys. Mark has killed my half-breed troop, but I'm quite happy with that because it means he's got even further to come to try and get the objective, and he hasn't got that much unit strength left to do it now. He's got the whites, he's got the Deathclaw pack, and he's got the Wraiths. The Wraiths can be surged to get over there, so even though that's quite a long way, that's not stopping them. But I've got the Decimators dominating that area. I've got the Immortal Guard. with only 3 wounds, and also I've got the Hellfane and my Spellcaster. So not sure who's going to get there and control it, but I'm feeling reasonably happy that I got a good shot at that. And yes, definitely clearing out the chaff in the middle. Just a bit of a close-up. And bottom of turn 5, maybe Mark surge those wraiths a long way to come over. I've got that loot counter. It's just a race to grab this one on turn 6. My Overmaster with the Wings of Honeymaze taking on the Goreblight. Mark is moving his Lich Priest to stay well away from my my heavy hitters, and I've taken a few wounds on the Overcaster, but he's throwing fireballs like there's no tomorrow. An 18 fireball is rather nice. Okay, and this is turn 6, and Mark went first. I think I gave him the first turn, so I had an option at the end of the game. And he's decided to try and protect the objective. And now Mark came up with his brilliant cunning plan. First part of his plan, get the wraiths onto the objective and pick it up. Second part of the plan, use 3 Wizards, 2 Lich Kings and Morgoth to chaff up and prevent my Hellfane charging through and my Immortal Guard charging through, which was a fantastic plan until he realized they're not mighty. So he can charge right through. These guys could charge into here, and as long as they kill him, they're going to carry on into there. Part 2 of his plan, though, was he's now got the objective, so it's 2-1 to Mark, and he said, I'm going to surge 10 this way. Now, I haven't played Undead in a long time, but I had this vague feeling that you can't carry a loot token and surge. So I said, Mark, maybe we should check the rules just to clarify, because I think you may not be able to surge. So we checked the rules. Sure enough, crap, I can't surge. I've got it, but I've got 24 dice potentially here in the flank, and I think he's 18 dice from him in the flank, because these guys charge in so they hit there rather than risking not killing that guy. There's enough room. I think the Overmaster might have been killed or wavered, and I possibly wavered and turned her and moved down that way to make sure that these guys could charge in, and they had enough room then to hit there, and the Hellfane came in on the other side of the Lich Priest, and I well and truly slaughtered the Lich and grabbed that objective to steal a very close fought win. So that was about the end of the game there. And yeah, there we have it. I've got both of the loot counters. Mark's got one. Yeah, I think that was a wavered Overmaster. Still got the Decimators back there. And the only thing Mark's got left on the table are his 3 spellcasters now, because my Fireball blew up the Deathclaw that had the diadem of whatever it is, a thingamajig of retribution. Crystal Shard, is that it? Crystal Pendant. And yeah, so got that one. So it was a win to the Abyssal Dwarfs. Great game. Really kind of swung one way then another. It was a real tussle, but a real fun tussle. And I think Mark now has a new appreciation for how dangerous Decimators can be when you use them properly. I took the lesson from game 2 and I applied it, protected them, finally got them onto a hill, and which gave them visibility and range, and they really came up trump. So great game, Mark. thank you very much for that. Really good way to finish day one. So at the end of the day, 2 wins and a loss. Very happy with that. Whenever I go to these events, my aim is to try and win more than I lose. So I was going into this weekend wanting to win 3 out of the 5 games if I could. Any more than that was definitely a bonus. Don't mind if I only win 2, but my goal is always to win 3. So 2-1 on day 1. So hopefully I can get a win in the morning on day 2, and we'll have a look at that game shortly. But for now, that's all. Thanks very much for watching. Until next time, ka kite anō. Take care.